Have you ever taken a photo before and your photo ends up really blue or really orange or yellow and you're wondering, well, it didn't look like that in person? In this video, we're going to be talking about the idea of white balance and how you can use it in your photos. Let's talk about it. So you might be wondering, what is white balance and why does white balance even matter? Like I said in the intro, you might have taken a photo and you were really excited. You were looking around and you found the perfect photo and you take it and you look back down on the camera and it turns out to be really blue, or it might be turned out to be really orange or yellow. And you're wondering, but that's not what it looks like in person. Why did it turn out to be that way in camera? First things first, you have to realize that our eyes are really amazing. Our eyes can calibrate and look at all types of things all around us and make decisions for us. So if we're looking down at something that is supposed to be white, let's say we have these AirPods. These AirPods objectively are supposed to be white. But if we look around and we put them in different lighting environments, different spaces, the lighting changes around us, but yet objectively through our eyes and through anything, that item is still white. We can look at it and tell you that it's white. But if you take a picture of it and you don't change any settings, you might be looking at something that looks blue or yellow. The idea is that your eyes can make decisions for you and make changes based on what it knows is supposed to be white. But the camera can't do that without you telling it to do so, because it can't change what the light is coming into the camera. There's a lot of science behind that. I'm not gonna get into it. Basically, all you need to know is that you are basically compensating for the difference in the different lighting environments that you are in. So for example, a lot of homes have what we call more tungsten lighting, which is this more warm lighting situations. Or you can go into something more sterile, like doctor's office usually have these types of lights, which are more white lights. They're really bright and they're overwhelming usually. Or you can go outside and you can go out into the day and you can have a cloud coming over the sun and it changes the different lighting environments. What is important is that you were telling the camera that you were changing these different settings to compensate for the different lighting environments. So if you look at your camera, you should see a lot of different white balance settings. Your camera might have more settings than other people, but for the most part, you're probably going to have an auto setting, which is just like auto exposure, which we have talked about in another video. You should have settings like daylight, cloudy, shade, tungsten, fluorescent, and flash. These are all different settings that are really important. When taking photos, you want to make sure you're checking your white balance, especially if you're going from inside to outside to different rooms. These are all things that should be changed every time you're moving to somewhere different, because ultimately something that is white should look white in every single photo. The idea of white balance is basically making sure something that looks white should look white all the time. When using white balance, it's really important to check your environment. If you are going into more of a cloudy environment, you should change it to the cloudy environment. If you get really good with using all of these different white balances, you should go into a custom setting. These custom settings will help you literally dial in to that specific Kelvin, which is what they call it, which is the numbers that correlate with those colors. So for example, if you have 2000 Kelvin, that would be on more warm, and 8000 would be more blue. Using these different things to dial in your photos help you become more creative, but also dial in to make sure your photos look the exact way you want them to look. Because ultimately, you can't always trust auto. Auto can change, especially if you're taking videos or multiple photos within a set amount of time. Light can change, and if you do not set it for what you want it, things could look very different really quickly. So keep that in mind in your next photo shoot. So hopefully that helps you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.